Hello, and welcome to Talk to Downtown. My name is Courtney Wood. I'm the Economic Development Director of the Downtown Stockton Alliance, the 501c6 nonprofit property-based business improvement district serving downtown Stockton. This webinar series is intended to connect our business owners, property owners, visitors, and residents with the organizations, people, and resources who can help address issues which are of top concern to them. Today, we have special guest Mike Huber. He is the Executive Director of the Downtown Stockton Alliance. So today we're going to learn about all of the great work that the DSA has been doing in 2022 and what we can expect to be coming downtown in 2023. So I'm very excited to have Mike back as a guest. We always have him each year to give us a little update on what's going on downtown. We'll begin by having Mike share a little bit about himself and his role at the DSA. Then I will ask him a list of questions I've outlined for him, and at the end we will open it up for viewer questions. So if you do have a question, please type it in as a comment, and we will get to it towards the end of the live. And with that, welcome. Thank you, Mike, for being here. I'm very excited to chat with you today. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your role here at the DSA.
Okay, yeah, I grew up here in Stockton, and as an older guy, downtown Stockton was the thriving hub of the city. And when I came back to Stockton, I really have had interest in making sure that there's a revitalization effort to get downtown back to where it was.
Perfect. And now I believe this is your fourth year as the executive director. So it's, you've done a lot of work since you've taken this role over. Very exciting. For anyone who maybe doesn't know what we do here at the Downtown Stockton Alliance, I know that you have been our guest in the past, but just in case someone's just tuning in for the first time, doesn't know anything about the DSA, can you share a little bit about the structure and the type of work that we do here?
Sure. So as you said in the opening, we're a property-based association. The property owners pay a small assessment that funds our organization. That includes maintenance, security, advocacy, economic development, marketing, and anything else that the downtown needs, we'll jump in and take on.
Perfect. We're focused on revitalizing the downtown Stockton district. All right, so let's get into an update. We had you on last year. What changes have happened in downtown Stockton since we talked to you last? Can you give us an update on the state of downtown?
Yeah, after COVID has kind of waned away, you're seeing a lot more normality now, and investments really picking up. We're seeing a lot of the buildings in escrow and plans for those. We're seeing some new development in housing. So it's a real exciting time right now in downtown.
All right. What specifically has the DSA been working on this year? I know we've been very busy. It's been a very productive year. Can you please talk about all the projects we've been working on?
There are a lot. We have a great team of employees, and I give them all the praise. It's an honor to lead this team, and so some of the projects we have completed was Diversity Plaza to celebrate our diverse culture in Stockton. That was half of the old Hunter Square behind the new courthouse. We felt that it was important to recognize that Stockton is a very diverse and cultural community with food and the people here, and it's so that was one. We started a mural program of old postcards. So the first one was put up on the Hotel Stockton, beautiful, but we're working on the second one now, which will be looking down Main Street from the Bob Hope, and so that one's currently, and they'll look like old postcards, so they'll have the little date stamp on them. We participated with in National Night Out with the district attorney's office, which was a real success. We ran ours and they ran theirs, so we came together this year, and that way everybody had one spot to come to, and that was really exciting and fun. We did a lot of the infrastructure preparation for Flavor Fest, which again is to celebrate the culture and diversity in Stockton. Full Moon Riders, which has been an ongoing series for us, is a bicycle event that happens during the full moons. That event was very successful again this year. We worked with the Chinese community after the revitalization of Changhua Lane 2 years ago, and this was our second annual Mid-Autumn Festival, which grew by about 200 people this year, which celebrates the harvest season in several different countries and cultures. They had the moon cakes, and we had performances from 12 o'clock till 4 o'clock. So that was a good day, and the weather was perfect that day. We're continuing to run the bathroom shower unit that serves about 60 unsheltered every day. We're seeing a lot of behavioral changes there because people now feel better, they're clean, and we're feeding them 3 days a week. There's several other nonprofits that are joining with us over there for health screening, for laundry services. So that program's been very successful since we launched it 2 years ago. We're working with both the city and the county on some funding to improve downtown. I think we're going to talk about that a little bit later. Yeah, and there's all kind. We're doing a lot. The Downtown Alliance does a lot. So those, I just kind of hit some of the points. We launched our new website, and we have a new marketing team that's doing an amazing job getting the word out there on events and things that are available for our property and business owners. We added another Spirits of Downtown series to our website. Doorways to Downtown, which is a feature for businesses in the downtown, is another series on our website. And we continue to partner with the sports teams as giveaways and how to promote them so that we can fill up the arena and the ballpark. And we have some programs for next year to even help more with that. So I think that touches on a lot of the things that we've done.
Yeah, it's been a jam-packed year, I must say, for everyone. And which of these projects are you the most proud of? Which of them do you think is going to have the biggest impact on downtown? Or they're just something that you think, wow, I'm so glad the DSA is doing this?
Well, all of them are important because they all touch a different area and check a different box. One that I'm most proud of, I don't know that I could quantify that because, again, I'm proud of all of them. Diversity Plaza was one that really was a revitalization of an area that was depressed, and we were happy to work with the city to do that project. So I guess that's the one that I'm most proud of. That when you see the bigger projects come to fruition, they make a bigger impact.
You can see it, just drive down the street. You can see the plaza. It looks beautiful, right next to Changhua. So yeah, it's a testament to the great work that you're doing, Mike.
Well, and with the Bob Hope Theater being right next door, as people are coming out of a show or getting ready to go in, it's a nice area to gather, and it kind of beautified that area as a focus block for us.
Okay. Thank you for summarizing the whole year in, such a nice condensed way. What can you say now about some challenges that you're facing downtown? We've talked about challenges in the past. What are you still facing here? What are the challenges for the DSA?
Well, I think, there's still a negative perception about downtown, and it's not just downtown Stockton. I think most downtowns throughout the country had a cycle where they were thriving at one point and then were depressed in another. But as we come out of that and we see more people wanting to live in an urban environment, and with some of the big box Amazons and Walmart online shopping, we're seeing a lot more boutique style businesses open up, which is good. So I would say that the biggest challenges are perception of downtown and trying to overcome those perceptions to say that, downtown's a very clean, because of our team, and a very safe place to come. And whether you're coming to an event, because we have a lot of events in downtown, not only at Weber Point, but the Bob Hope and then the arena and the ballpark. So I think it's the perception would be the answer to the question of what our biggest challenges are.
Still facing a little bit of a negative perception of downtown. How do you think the DSA can work to combat that in the coming year?
Well, we're looking at several programs for next year that we're going to be using some funding for, and that is to try to bring people downtown, and whether it's an event, a sporting event, whether it's a farmers market or a makers market, whether it's music. You know, we've done the Jazz in the Plaza and music series. And we're looking to expand on that next year and kind of maybe partner with Parents by Choice over on Main Street and for their makers market, and just have different things for people to do that might bring them down here that they haven't been down here for, but they have an interest in whatever that event might be.
Great. Focusing on events, getting people here. And once you're here, you can see the beautiful waterfront and a lot of the kind of amenities that we do have. All right. What is the most common question that you were asked this year, and how do you answer it?
Well, it's the same question every year, and that is parking. We don't have enough parking, and people don't want to pay for parking. But in every city that you go to, you pay for parking in downtown. So, but I think that's the biggest question that we always get is, where do I park? Why do I have to pay for parking? Parking is hard to find. So I think that's probably the answer to that question. We get asked a lot of questions daily, but I think parking is the one that reoccurs the most.
Okay. And as far as paying for parking or where to park, the locations are pretty easy to name. We can give them the name of the parking garages. There's street parking and little kiosks where you can pay, they're very simple to use, actually. Do you think that we'll see any other changes to parking in the future, to your knowledge?
As far as parking? Mm-hmm. Well, I'd like to see more available parking, and we don't know where that would be because we're kind of landlocked downtown. But there's plenty of parking, and parking's safe. The Safety Ambassador program that we have continues to monitor not only the ground level parking lots under the crosstown, but also the garages on a regular basis. So we're seeing a real shift in people, now parking in those and not worrying about their car as much.
Amazing. So, if you could sum up the work of the DSA in 2022 in just one word, what would it be?
Probably teamwork. Everybody in our organization really pulls on the same end of the rope, and they know their roles and they do them well. And again, I'm privileged to be able to lead such a great team of people here. And so I think that as everybody works together in that teamwork, it's really made the impact that you're seeing.
Okay, thank you for giving that one word. And is there anything else that you want to say about the work of the DSA this year in 2022, or just any other projects that you wanted to mention that maybe you didn't mention earlier before we move on?
I think we covered a lot of them, but the DSA is an important organization in downtown, and I think property-based organizations as a whole, whether they're business or property-based, are good things for communities. The Miracle Mile has one, and they do a really good job. But we have a large district, one of the largest in the nation, and so to keep all the wheels turning, and it takes a lot of work, and again, it takes a great team of people, and I don't know that people recognize that all the work that we do. We do a lot of it behind the scenes. We're kind of like the Wizard of Oz. We're pulling a lot of levers behind that curtain. So I think that's what we would want people to know, is how much we really do.
I think that's actually a great description of what we do. It is a lot of behind the scenes, but we are here working to make downtown better. Okay, let's move to 2023. What are your goals for next year? What are some of your areas of focus? Tell us about what we can expect next year.
Well, the goals, as we talked about earlier, is to work on programs that change the perception and drive commerce to downtown. So, our goal is to get investors to buy properties here, to have businesses move in here, and have people come down here. We have a lot of people working down here. We have a lot of residents down here. Because of the events, we have a lot of visitors. So we need the amenities to do that. And so those are some of the goals. Some of the planned projects that we're going to be working on are several. We will be receiving some American Rescue Act funds from not only the city but the county. And with those, we're going to be doing some beautification projects. We're going to be doing some parking vouchers for sporting events. We're going to be doing some bus vouchers to get people down here. We're going to work with the chamber to get more members signed up with the chamber, and we'll pay for their first year. We'll work with them to recruit and get new chamber members, which is an important part of downtown. We're going to be working with all the businesses to try to do some beautification on the facades and the windows. We are hoping that we'll have enough money to do a broken window fund. So if something happens and one of their windows happens to get broken, the DSA will fund that for the repair. It isn't as bad as it was 5 years ago. We're not seeing as much property damage, but occasionally it happens, and so we'd like to help there. We've got some internal programs going. We're going to do the Great Big Read again this year, which is a literacy event for children, and working with the community to do that. We got a lot going on.
Great. Yes, thank you for mentioning some of the projects that we're looking to work on next year. Can you touch a little bit more on the commercial facade program? And I know that the city of Stockton has one in place already, but this is going to be different. Can you explain a little bit to people listening?
Yeah, so the city approached us as a strategic partner to try to help run a program to do some beautification in downtown and in Stockton as a whole. They're going to focus on downtown first and then expand the program, and we're going to be managing that program. So any street-facing properties, we'll be offering $25,000 per property. It's on a first come first served basis. We'll be rolling that out mid-January, and it'll be simplified from some of the facade programs that the city's already offered. We're going to kind of boil it down into things that beautify. So paint and signs and awnings, windows, some outdoor dining. If you didn't take part when the CARE funds funded the outdoor dining. And we're gonna so it's not a matching fund. It's a one-time allocation to you. I encourage the property owners to take advantage of this because these types of programs don't come around very often, and so it's really going to dress up downtown and kind of help change that perception.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for property owners to put a little bit of a facelift, on the front of their building, businesses too. Okay, great. Looking forward to that. So stay tuned for more information in January because we will be doing a lot of promotion about the commercial facade program. Okay. And for some of the other programs you mentioned, I think you mentioned the window repair. What about banners? I believe we also have funding coming for that.
Yeah, we do. And thank you for bringing that up. So one of the things that we will be doing is, like we did on Weber, we branded Weber downtown because it's kind of the main vein downtown. We want to do the same thing to the new revitalized Minor and come up with a theme there. Once that's done, we'll be releasing some money to the business owners to purchase or we'll purchase the banner and put it up for them. and we have a program for that, so that it's not really an advertisement, but it might just be a recognition of your business. So we're trying to keep, things for sale on the banner, but to recognize that you're here, and we're going to work on a program to fund banners for some of the businesses.
Awesome. Okay, so it's actually amazing that we're receiving so much funding through the ARPA funding at both city and the county. So I'm really excited for next year personally to see how all of these programs are executed, how much we can do to support our businesses, our residents, our property owners. So it's really, really exciting. We will be putting out promotion for each of these programs next year. So please, stay tuned, keep your eyes out, because that information will get released. We don't have all of it at the moment, but it's something to get really excited about in 2023.
Yeah, but it's a lot of work, and I want people to understand that is managing government and municipal funding is very task driven, and it's not an easy thing to do to be compliant in the program. So we are going to have a lot of work on our hands next year. It's doubling our current budget, and so with that, that having to keep abreast of everything and it is going to be a lot of work. So, but we can do it. We got a great team.
That is true. True on all counts, I can say. Are there any downtown development projects that we can expect to be coming next year?
Well, one's already currently in the works, and that's the Grandview Village on the corner of Minor and Hunter. That's a housing project through Visionary Homes that is moving at quite a quick pace to be finished. The exciting thing about that project is we're going to have our grocery store downtown, and once those type of amenities start to move in and it becomes a neighborhood, the infill and the market rate and the other buildings start to become housing. And the more you have people down here, the better it is, but you have to have support services for them. So having a grocery store down here is going to be a game changer. It'll really revitalize that neighborhood. So I'm excited about that.
Amazing. Okay. Are there any other projects that you can think of that you want to mention that the DSA might be working on in 2023? Or just things that we can expect?
Well, our core mission is clean and safe. So we're going to continue to keep downtown clean and power washed, and we're going to continue to patrol with our safety ambassador program. And it's not just patrols. If somebody's working late and they don't feel safe going to the car, we have a courtesy escort service that just call us and we'll make sure you get to your car safe. And but on other programs, I don't know, Courtney, what am I missing?
I wanted to give you a chance just in case there was anything that popped into your head. I didn't want to leave without giving you that opportunity. Is there anything that you're most excited about as far as the work of the DSA next year, or just things coming downtown?
All the projects I mentioned before are really going to be impactful for downtown. The more people that we can get down here that haven't been down here in a while, that's a game changer. And when we first did the music in the plaza, we had people come down that hadn't been in downtown in 10 years, and their perceptions changed. They thought it was Gotham City, and when they got down here, they saw this as a beautiful, walkable, clean, and safe area. And so those kind of perception changes. So a lot of the programs we're doing are addressing that, is trying to get people down here to spend their money in the restaurants and the stores, and see what a great place downtown is.
Amazing. Okay. So for next year, I asked you to sum up the work of the DSA in one word. 2022. So if you could sum up your hopes 23 in one word, what would that be? Better
than it was yesterday, better than it was last year, better than it was 2 years ago, doing the same thing. So I think that would be the one word I would use. It is downtown is getting better daily, and with the support of the city manager and the city and the county, their support has really allowed us to do some of these changes and these programs in order to make downtown better.
I love that. I actually love that choice of word, better. We can always be better. We can always do better and do more. Okay, so I know that the Downtown Stockton Alliance is moving, which is something very new. Tell us when that move is happening. Where are we moving to? Please let us know.
Well, as you can see in the background here, it's pretty bare, and I'm not in a prison or a tower. We've moved most of our stuff over to our new location, and that is at 110 South or North San Joaquin Street in the building. Because of the growth of the Downtown Stockton Alliance, we've kind of outgrown this location. We love the B&M building and its history and its location, but we just needed more room. And so the fifth floor of the building allows us to expand a little bit and get off each other, because we've got multiple people working in offices now, and it'll allow us to kind of spread out a little bit and give everybody their own area that they can work out of and have some privacy, and I think that helps with accomplishing some of the goals, because you're not talking over somebody in a room or something. So yeah, I'm excited about our new location. We'll be moving over there. Our opening day is January 3rd. We've moved most of our stuff over there to see what we needed and what we didn't need. So that's why we're working off of just tables now for the next week or so. And then our computers, phones, and printer will all be moved over the week of the 19th of December. And that'll be it. And then we'll hit the ground running in 2023 in our new location.
Great. Yes. So that's 110 North Main Street, the fifth floor. So if you need to come to our offices for any reason, starting January 3rd, that's where we will be. So we will no longer be at the Bridge Place location. Just wanted to make sure everyone knows we're going to be sending out more announcements about it. But it's a big change. It's a big change, new opportunities, growth. Yeah. So thank you, Mike. Okay. Just a couple more questions from me before we open it up for viewer questions. So if you are watching and you do have a question, please type it in as a comment and we will ask Mike your question. How can the community or viewers participate in the revitalization of downtown Stockton? What can listeners do?
Well, come down first, and see what a great place this is. I mean, very few cities have the amenities like the waterway, have the history that we have. I mean, you could take our Walk with Weber tour by foot, or you could actually, if you just want to watch it on our website. But there's a ton of history in downtown Stockton that even someone who grew up here and has lived here most of my life, I'm still learning about some of the history and some of the cool things that are downtown, and some of the architectural gems that we have down here. That we've got some buildings that like the one we're in now and like the one we're moving to that have so much history. That'd be first, and then come down and enjoy some of the events we have or the fine restaurants we have. I mean, we've got some great places to eat down here, and again, going back to the diversity and the culture, we've got a lot of culturally great food that's in downtown. So that's what I would say, is that come down and try us. Get out of your routine and come down and see what downtown has to offer, because we do. We've got a ton of events. I mean, it seems like every other day there's an event going on in downtown, and yes, we've got the venues for those. And so that would be my advice. Just come down and try us.
Come down and try it. I like it. I like that. Definitely have a lot of restaurants. That is a very serious statement. So come try the restaurants if you haven't yet. Okay. How can people get in touch with you, Mike, if they have further questions or just want to learn more about the work that you do?
Yeah, I have an open door policy. And so if we have a visitor that comes in that just wants to chat or talk about downtown or talk about the history of downtown, I'm always available, unless I'm tied up in a meeting. But for the most part, I want to meet with people. So you could come into the office again until the end of the year. We'll be here at the B&M building on Bridge Place. But after the 3rd, you can come to the building and talk about it. Otherwise, you can always call the office. That's 209-464-5246, or I think my email is up on the screen. You can always write to me. But I'm as an older guy, I'm a lot more personal. I want to talk to you in one-on-one. The younger generation does a lot more of the Zoom and the Instagram, and I would rather interact one-on-one or as a group live. So I'm more than happy to entertain anybody that wants to come in and answer questions or talk about programs that we're going to be offering, or give advice on what they should do with the building, or what kind of business they should open. So Courtney, you and I work really closely with recruiting investors and businesses to come downtown. And if you have those questions, come see us.
Great. You can get a personal tour from Mike of downtown.
Yeah.
Just stop by. Mike will talk to you.
People that do come down here that haven't been down here in a while, or people that are visitors to Stockton, once you start walking around down here, the comments that I always hear is, wow, this is a really cool place. I haven't been down here in so long, or this is the first time I've been here, and look at this beautiful waterway that we have, and this downtown that has so much history. So, it really does change that perception once you come down here and try us.
All right. Is there anything else that you want to share with viewers about the work that you do, or just about downtown Stockton in general?
Well, what I would do is I'm going to point that to the employees. We have a lot of people that work really hard, and especially the maintenance team and the safety ambassador team. They're out there for you, and I would hope that as you see one of our people that you recognize them and say hello to them, and maybe even thank you, because keeping downtown clean is a huge chore, whether it's this time of the season, keeping the leaves off the ground, or picking up the trash. They work really hard, and I say thank you to them every day. But coming from other people, from visitors, from employees down here, or residents, I think would go a long way. So if what I would say is, recognize the people that really work hard. It's easy to lead them when they're such a great team.
What a great statement. Definitely. If you see a downtown maintenance team on the streets, leaf blowing, just cleaning up anything on the sidewalk, say thank you. They work hard every day. They do a great job. I love that, Mike. Okay. Thank you for answering all of my questions. Hopefully that was easy. Now let's move on and see if there are any viewer questions. So if you haven't typed in a question yet, but you do have one for Mike about downtown Stockton or the DSA, please type it in now. I would also like to remind everyone that this has been streaming live to YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, where we are at Downtown Stockton. It has also been streaming live to Twitter, where we are at Downtown STKN. So let me see if there are any comments or questions. Okay, so it looks like Kimberly Perry on Facebook has made a comment, just kind of mentioning that the Courthouse Plaza has a lot of quiet and also has a lot of music on Mondays. See, just another great example of what's going on. A great event, kind of like Mike was mentioning, we have a lot of events going on here. Check out the Downtown Stockton Alliance events calendar if you want to find out everything that's going on. You can also follow us on our social media to learn more. So far, we just have that comment. All right, let's give people a chance in case they do want to ask any questions. Ask your questions now.
I will mention the Courthouse Plaza because Parents by Choice, which purchased it a couple of years ago, has done an amazing job revitalizing that building.
Yes, they have.
really cool boutique shops in there, the cafe, and the improvements they've done to the building really show. And it's again part of that focus block on Main Street that's really making a difference. And Main Street actually has some other projects going on too, some market rate housing that's being developed just down from the Fox, Bob Hope. And but that building has really come a long way since Tony Yaden and Parents by Choice have purchased it.
Yes, it's beautiful. That's 306 East Main, I believe. So if you haven't been downtown to see it, go inside. It looks beautiful. Tony has done an amazing job on the inside of the building, and it's full of businesses now. So, stop by, shop, have a coffee. Okay, we do have a question. This is coming from Instagram. So Skate Out of Stockton asks, if you could open a downtown business, what would it be?
Well, I think, and I don't want to be totally specific because I'd have to think that through, but what I've seen is because of the large internet shopping now, that boutique one-on style shops are really becoming popular, where you can't buy it in masses. So the individual items that are in some of these boutiques are really becoming popular. So it would be more of a one-off type product store. Again, I'm not sure what that would be. And a grocery store, but that's already being done because we need that downtown. And more amenities, more places to eat and go to, and more clubs. So I'd have to really think that through, but there are some needs in downtown, and that wouldn't duplicate what we already have. I know there are some talks of a brewery. There's some talks of a blues club opening soon. So I don't want to give that away yet, but there are some cool things that are coming, and so entertainment's always good downtown. But yeah, I think the boutiques are really starting to take a foothold in downtown, and Courthouse Plaza has a few of them, but there's some all over scattered through downtown. So I would say it would be a boutique style one-off product store.
Okay, sounds like a couple of options or desires that you might have if you were so inclined, but mainly looking for some kind of small boutique custom, like a custom shop, or maybe where you could get gifts, maybe some kind of craft. Okay, thank you. And thank you for the question, Skate Out of Stockton. All right, looks like we do have another question coming in. This is from AJ on Instagram. Okay, just 1 second. All right. AJ asks, what are your plans for the plaza area between Nena's and the new City Hall? Do you have any plans for that area?
Well, the city owns that plaza area with their new location, which they'll be moving into hopefully within a year. The way our assessments are set up, that end of our district is we only do marketing for. So if to answer the question, in today we would continue to market the events that they hold in that plaza, continue to work with promoters to have events in that plaza. And then when the city moves in there and we recertify, I believe we're going to be doing the maintenance and security services down there. The city would like to see that. Also, Stockton Unified, who's moving their district offices down there, are going to want to see those additional services. That's a great area. That's a great little plaza to have music in and events. And I'm interested to see how the city's going to utilize it, and we'll support that. We'll be there every step of the way with them.
Right. I know that there are some promoters currently that are definitely hosting events there frequently. So the DSA itself isn't involved in hosting those, but check out those events. I want to say that one of the hosts is Lavaca. That sounds like one of the event creators. So definitely check out those events. And it looks like AJ has a follow-up question regarding the plaza. Okay, so he's asking, will events still be held at the area he was just talking about by the marina once City Hall moves. Do you imagine that the area will still be used in the same way once the city has moved their offices to the towers?
I think it's going to be really more is going to happen down at that end because you're going to need the services to support all the city employees. So I think that you will see more events down there. The owner of the Waterfront Warehouse is very supportive of the events there in the plaza, and he really promotes those. So as the city moves down there and there's more people moving around with Stockton Unified and the city, I think you're going to see more restaurants, more events, just more activity, because that's going to be an activator for that end of the district. Having that many people down there, you're going to need food, you're going to need services, and I think those types of businesses will start popping up in that area. So that may go back to the last question about what kind of a business I would open. I would probably open a service type business down in that area to support the employees that will be working in there.
Right, a lunch spot for all of those employees so they could just walk right over, have lunch. I totally agree with you. It is definitely going to activate that side of the district. Okay, it looks at the moment that we do not have any further questions or comments. So if you did type a question or comment, and thanks Kimberly and Stockton. So at this time, I would like to say thank you, Mike, for letting us interview you today and for sharing everything that the DSA has been working on. It's been a lot of programs. We have expect next year too. So thank you for being willing to come back as a third time as my guest, I believe. Is there anything that you want to say before we close out about
I want
downtown?
everybody to have a happy holiday. This is a great time of the year in Stockton. We have great weather, and I just want to make sure that everybody enjoys the holiday season. And as I said, if you maybe in passing you see one of the maintenance or safety ambassadors, you say Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays to them, because that goes a long way for them. They work really hard. So that would be my closing statement.
I love it. Okay, well, thank you so much, Mike. And thank you, viewers, for tuning in. And with that, I would like to say we will see you next year at our new location. And with that, have a great day downtown.